Well, Johnny, we're here.
We are here.
I love it. We're doing it.
And what are we talking about today?
We're talking about teaching in person versus live streaming.
Boom.
This
was a big thing that came up during the pandemic, obviously. In
100%.
so many different industries. Today we're going to talk about our experience as fitness instructors teaching online versus in person. But first we got a gift for everyone, don't we?
We do. Tell me about it. I'm excited.
So for anyone out there who is looking to develop an online course or e-learning program in 90 days or less and save some money in the process, $10,000 is what we've saved multiple clients and students of ours. We have a free masterclass for you linked right below this video. What is the difference in your head when it comes to live streaming when you're teaching versus teaching in person?
Yeah, in-person energy, electricity.
Yeah.
You know this.
Yeah.
We've taught at the same place before. A lot of electricity in the room. You're able to generate enthusiasm, get people involved. A little different on the live stream. The live streaming is all about you having to generate that energy as opposed to the energy just being there and you're kind of riding the wave. Also, really having to be structured on what you're doing. It's a little easier when you're in person to kind of change things on the fly.
Oh yeah.
Read the room. When you're alone on a camera staring at the the endless void in front of you, you got to be a little more on point, a little more structured. Definitely feel that you got to have a little bit of a script that you got to go by. Oh, but nonetheless, always fun. I really have good experiences online. I'll tell you this too. One thing that I liked is when you're teaching online, having the chat bar at the bottom and you're able to see what people are saying. That's a big difference in what you can do in class.
That's definitely a benefit of it.
A benefit.
You know? I don't know about you, but when I was teaching, so we're both yoga sculpt. Well, I'm like a retired yoga sculpt teacher. But Robbie is an active yoga sculpt teacher. So when I was teaching and live streaming, I couldn't actually play music. Right? So I couldn't play music because it doesn't go through the speakers, or if it does, it's kind of like choppy, or they can't hear you. So that was one thing that was really tough for me, actually. You know, you sequence everything to the music.
Yes.
So we would actually send our playlist ahead of time, like in the chat via Spotify to our students.
Yeah.
And then they would have to, they could play it themselves, but I couldn't hear any of it.
Yes.
So it was like, your timing's very different, how you sequence it, you can't really sequence it to songs. So I don't know, how was that for you?
Well, I'll tell you, Facebook does this. If you're gonna live stream on Facebook, they are going to knock your music out. So I'd have music in the background and you had to be ready that when you go back through and you watch that stream, all of a sudden there's the words coming out of your mouth you can't hear, because they've muted you. So yeah, for the most part, you would kind of have to have the music quiet in the background and not have it loud enough to get on there. But it does make it a challenge, because it is, especially for yoga sculpt, especially for yoga, the music is it's a part of the theme. It's a part of the creating the energy, creating the ambiance of what's going on in the film. And if you can't use it, it does make it a little bit more of a challenge.
Oh yeah.
100%. I'm gonna put this on. Listen, I just want to write.
Please.
Okay, I just want to write.
Let's do it.
We're gonna write music here. Oh, look at that. See, I've been waiting for so long to get on this video so I can write on this board. Check one, we just did it.
We just did it. But yeah, music is definitely a problem. The benefit we were talking about though with live streaming versus in person is when you're teaching in person, you can't really solicit feedback from the class. Or you can, but it's more disruptive than when you're live streaming. One thing I always said at the beginning of my classes is I was like, hey, if there's anything in particular you want to focus on today, or you want like extra help with today, that could be something to strengthen, that could be something that is a little tighter today, then drop it in the chat. Or if you need anything throughout class, just drop it in the chat. And people actually did.
Yes.
So you're getting feedback during the class, which doesn't really happen. It happens differently in a live class. In a live class, it happens based on energy, right? Based on how people are responding to what you're saying. It could be, but it's not like actually specific words of like, oh, my back is hurting today. Or in live teaching, you have to make sure that you get that information before the class actually starts when you're meeting them at the front
100%.
desk. But I guess that's one of the big differences there would be communication.
Yeah, I always found when I was online, I would look to, so I'm scripted online, everything, and for the most part in the class too, it's scripted. You can kind of go off the fly and assist certain people in the room, but when you're online, you can't see the people.
Yeah.
So it's more of a scripted, you know what you're gonna say, the words are coming out of your mouth, and you've already said them before in your head 100 times. But I would look at that chat bar and see what people are saying. And then you can kind of adapt your class to, based off of what the chat bar is saying. Also, I did a few weightlifting classes too. And those were a lot of fun because the weightlifting classes, these were so much fun. I would have people come in and we would do just a general workout. We're gonna do 4 lifts, 3 sets of 10, and I would be talking into the camera much like I'm doing right now, and I would be turning around and talking about the form, what their objective is here, what target muscle groups they're working on. And then people would pick questions in the chat bar, and that made it so much more beneficial, which is something you can't really do in the live setting, is disrupt the class and start talking about the specifics. I was able to do that because the people in the room were working around me. They were already doing the workout. The people that are watching are able to hear me talk and address the issues at hand, So it's a lot different, completely different dynamics.
So between the two, as a teacher, which one do you prefer?
Oh, right here. All day, teaching in person without question. Now, I get some people prefer the live streaming, and I get that. I 100% get it. I don't hate it. I do enjoy it, but there's nothing like the electricity in the room. What about you, Johnny?
I mean, I taught online for about a year, and then I couldn't do it anymore. So I was teaching 3 classes a week online. Well, first I was teaching 3 classes a week in person, then we all moved online. And it was at a small boutique fitness studio. And I couldn't do it. Like, I was setting everything up. I actually was doing it here. I was doing some of it here, like in the studio. Yeah. And then I set it up at my condo, and I'm like, no, I got so tired of the scriptedness. Like, this is what killed me. You're just saying the same damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can't interact.
Yeah.
So definitely prefer teaching in person. Also 100% prefer taking in-person classes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's why I pay for the Core Power membership.
The heat.
I mean, that's why. I mean,
music.
Yeah, I just think it's way better. It's also more fun to do burpees with other people around.
And this is the burpee master. Let me tell you what, the record holder for burpees in one class right here. We've got something for you. We've got something for you guys. Johnny, what is it? What is it?
We have a free gift for you if you are looking to not necessarily live stream, but create on-demand content for your students. We have a free masterclass for you, linked right below this video to help you do that in less than 90 days. So go check it out.
Check it out. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. We appreciate it so much.